Yo, what's up, y'all? Today I got an interesting topic and I want to talk to you about it because I think it's very important. Very, very important. Stop being the grammar police. Stop. Nothing kills a conversation faster than someone being the grammar police. Hands down. And most times after you make your attempt to be a Karen during a conversation, a hall monitor of words, people are going to stop engaging you in a meaningful way. And I'm not talking about your family or your mother or cousin or somebody that you have to deal with. I'm talking about people that you want friendships, relationships, um, any type of community with, right? Because here's the thing. What does a grammar police officer actually do other than interrupt? You interrupt the flow of the conversation. You completely mess up everything that's going on at this time. No one asks to be corrected. No one asks for you to stop them. Nobody asks for it. Yeah. And here's the thing. You understood what they meant. You understood what they meant, which is why you inserted the correct thing, the quote unquote correct thing, or the right way to say it, or the right way to do this. Um, Mid story, mid feeling, someone's having a good time, someone's communicating, and you stop them to tell them it's into, or it's to, or it's any other thing you could think of. You know what I'm talking about because you are the grammar police, or you've been a victim of the grammar police. Second thing, outside of interrupting, just kills the vibe. It just kills the vibe. Like I said, these people are in flow and they're probably enjoying themselves having a conversation, an opportunity for them to talk, which most of us don't get to do often. Um, and here you come thinking out loud. And I promise you, what they're not saying out loud or even thinking internally, they're not saying, I'm so glad you corrected me. They're not saying, you saved this conversation. They're not saying, how could I continue on with the misuse of those words? Thank you so much. They're not so appreciative of you that it even matters that you actually stop them because you're just killing the vibe. You're killing the vibe. Um, yeah, like stop doing that. People don't want the grammar police around, especially if you're trying to build a friendship, relationship, or some type of community. Stay away from doing all that. Um, oh, hold on. Somebody sending me an email. Well, let me cut this. Let me close it. Boop. Let me put myself offline because now they interrupted me. All right, so look, and here's the thing: grammar police, grammar police, grammar police. It's not about intelligence, right? Let's be honest. This is about ego. This is about ego. You felt like I cannot go another second, another minute listening to them if I don't vomit out the correct saying or the correct way to pronounce this or the additional and let's say even take it off that. Let's say you're looking at a presentation and you're like, oh, you need two indentations or you need an extra space here. I can't go another second. I know they're in flow, but I can't go another second without doing this. There's no intelligence behind it. It's really all ego. You know what I'm saying? So cut it out. Like, don't be the person who has to act like the message was not received or understood, but you're so intelligent on the other side that you were able to understand what they said so that you can give them the right thing to say. You know what I'm saying? And here's what actually matters. Like, did you hear them? Was the information enough for you to have a good conversation back? Where are you going to be able to respond and continue this transaction and this transformation of connection? Like, are you going to be someone that's a safe space, as cliche as that sounds. I'm not saying you have to be a pushover. I'm saying a safe space. A safe space is someone who you don't feel like you're walking on eggshells around, and also like you're not walking through a mine. What is it? A landmine, because you don't want to walk and say, "Oh, I can't be too free because if I say something wrong, they're going to correct me." That's not what you want, right? Here's the honest truth. All right, let's be honest. Grammar police, you feel good correcting people. So outside of ego, you've developed this habit that is unhealthy, right? Because there's cool ways to do it. There's slick ways to do it. You could wait till they're finished. And this is still like too much for me, but you could wait till they're finished and have a response and blah 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 back and forth. And then you could even jokingly make a comment based on your own self-deprecation. So right, so they go through the story and say, "Yo, oh, hey, all right, so I'm OCD, and it's gonna bother me if I don't say nothing. That's but I'm your friend, so I didn't say nothing. You're in the story because I love you and I like what you were doing. It was funny. I'm glad we key whatever. But there's a comma right here, or actually, you're looking for your or their THEIR instead of THERE. Like you could make it about yourself in a self-deprecating way, in joking way. But I love you though. You know what I'm saying? I just had to get that off because my OCD. You can you could say it, but you don't have to say it. Like you really don't have to say it. Because and you have to honor the fact that people grow up in different settings, right? So I have some very professional friends, very non-professional friends, and I have some very creative friends, and they all have their own groups and synergies that have now created what would you call it, dialects amongst normal language, right? And it's not even a big deal. Like I have some friends, I actually have two friends, they're brothers, and one is super professional. Well, I wouldn't say super professional. One has a high level job, like a VP level, and the other one has a a, a really good gig. He's not a VP, but he's still doing pretty well, as you would say, "Oh, okay, wow, man, that's pretty cool of you to be doing a job like that." But his brother is, making more money than him. So there's always this little back and forth, but the other brother always feels like, "Hey, I know I'm not the VP or whatever, but I'm more educated, right?" So the VP brother always says, "I'm going." Instead of like, "I'm on the way" or "I'm coming," he says, "I'm going." And the other brother always says, "That's not what you're supposed to say," and blah, blah, blah. He gets into this whole thing about the way to use words and this and that. But in our group of friends, like half of the friends say I'm going. And it's not a big deal. We know that when they say I'm going, they really mean I'm on the way, or I'm about to do that, or I'm coming. It's no big deal. I'm coming, I'm on my way. I'm about to go over there. All right, cool, whatever. I'm about to come over there. It doesn't matter. But he feels the need to say it. So if it wasn't his brother though, to to me, I feel the group would be super annoyed by it. You know what I'm saying? And so that's just one example of something that's not a big deal. So leave it alone. Like leave it alone for real. But people don't really do that. They feel they have to pick. You know what I mean? And grammar police have done things out of habit where now they no longer attach feelings to it, but the ego is still there. So they're happy they get it off. They're so used to getting it off that they feel they have to get it off and let people know the correction, or they don't feel right, but it's really just a habit, a bad habit that you have to break. Um, always say the best way to look at things is ask yourself, and this is across many different scenarios, not just grammar police, but does this need to be said right now? Or do I need to do this right now? Take a beat, take a ball, take a pause, take a walk. You don't have to jump into things all the time. Just be cool. But all that to say, yeah, if you are the grammar police, stop killing your conversations. Again, if you're trying to have friendship, relationship, or community, cut it out. That's it. Peace.